remain in this zone, you will be detected.
What's going on? It is CalCell33. Today I am going to start hopefully like a series of videos, and it is going to be,
10
or they're
seconds
going to be
before insertion.
covering basically like how to get better at Siege and how to improve at Siege, whether you're a new player or an experienced player. Basically just how to improve and give you tips that anybody can use basically. So the first tip that I will be covering is going to be talking about getting into habits as a player. And basically, whether you're attacking or defending bomb sites, no matter, like what map it is, you always have habits that you go through, to help you basically like win, and then you can eventually like master and just always improve at. So for my example that I'm going to use, I'm going to just like show you Cafe real quick, and basically like no matter, like basically every match that the defending team always picks the top site first. So I always pick Thermite right off the bat, and I always spawn River Docks. So yeah, that's just going to be basically like where I'm starting. And then I always start my drone right here underneath the, I don't know, like just right here outside the building, outside the front. So yeah, I don't ever take my drone in the building. I just get it out there. Then what I do is I come up at a spawn, I shoot the camera. Obviously I have my AR, but I just brought this just for the hatches, basically. So what I do when I come out of spawn, I immediately come up, just shoot the camera, and then I scan like right here, and I just wait to see if anybody's gonna run out of the window. I just wait a couple seconds, and if it's clear, then perfect. And then I'll like scan right here and just wait to see if somebody's gonna come out of this window, and if it's clear, then great. And then I scan here real quick, just make sure nobody's peeking that, and then I just kind of, quick peek that real quick just to make sure nobody's peeking. And then I basically hold this door, because a lot of times Valkyries will like throw cams and then try and like kill you coming out of spawn. So I just hold this, make sure it's good all the way up. I come here, I always just pre-fire that just to pick up my drone, and then I always rappel upside down and just like hold this side in case somebody decides to run out, and I could just like flick this way, if somebody runs out there. But basically, yeah, like super safe coming out of spawn. And then I just kind of communicate whether I'm solo or with my teammates, like somebody open the hatches if nobody does already. So we get both hatches open, and then from this point I come over here, get on my drone, I come like check, okay, red's good, this part of red is good, and then I leave a flank drone down here basically. I call out to my team, there's a flank drone bottom red. Then I drone down here, check new hatch looks good. Then I check cigar looks good. Then I come over here and I say, okay, small bar is good. I'm communicating all this to my team, by the way, regardless if I'm solo or not. Stage is good. Couches are good. I call this bitch corner. Bitch corner is good. I check bathroom real quick, and let's just say like all this is good. They're not roaming, right? Or they're not holding any of it. So I just leave my drone white, and then I say like cover me while I drop, or like hold my door, because immediately I drop down, I'm checking this just to make sure that like nobody's flanking, and then I set my my claymore down. And then once that happens, and like usually like my other teammates will drop, I'll always open the left side of the wall. I come down here and I prone, get back on this cam and make sure that it's not destroyed, and I'll even just kind of check this back again real quick and say, yeah, okay, cigar's still clear. Then I'll just leave it back in the hallway again. So let's just say, great, we have cigar cleared, all that. Now I communicate to one of my teammates, hold my white, so I don't get killed while I breach. And sometimes this wall is soft, so what you can do is either breach this side if the wall's soft, or like if it is all reinforced, then I'll just breach the right side, and just like so we can hold freezer better, and the rotate hole. But let's just say like for this instance the wall's soft, right? So I'd come over here, I'd blow my charge, I'd check like make sure new balcony, nobody's peeking me, and then I'd shoot the cam. And then once that happens, I'd communicate to like one of my teammates, like somebody drone, you know, check where we are. And then, as you can see, oh, I didn't really blow it that well, but basically like, I don't know, sometimes it'll blow it if you do it right, but it'll like blow it right here, and then you can even like come right through here, like if they call freezers clear, you know, and then just plant right there. Or basically like if I blow this side right, then I'll sit like deep cigar, and then like hold if like we get a call that somebody is freezer, right? Try and hold them, or like peek the rotate, whatever it is. But yeah, that's basically like it in terms of what I do. My habit of, you know, attacking cafe. I always pick thermite, you know, and even like any site, honestly, I always pick thermite on here. I'm just like a thermite main on this map. And I just have like a step-by-step process of what I do each and every time. So like for example, like I just said, leave my drone outside and spawn. I really cautious coming out of spawn because a lot of people like to peek, you know, and then once I get out of spawn, I rappel up, and I'm still, you know, watching runouts, get the hatches open. I leave a drone down below red. I make sure to leave my claymore, right? Like there's just like a step-by-step process of what I do every single time. And obviously like early in the process of like the round, you're going to be like able to do the same exact thing every time because the enemies usually aren't going to like affect you too much. But once you get like, for example, like in this, sometimes the strategy might change once I blow the wall, because maybe like the floor right here is blown and then somebody's playing it underneath. Well, I'm not just gonna sprint in and then hope to like they don't kill me. So at that point, like I may either have to come down and then like just start trying to spraying, right, or communicate to my team so then they can go down and start contesting them. But yeah, like just try and like secure as much of a habit as possible, like each and every round, basically as like much as you can do. And the reason being, like why do you need a habit, right? Why should you create habits in Siege? The reason being is you want to basically like perfect the way you do things in Siege, right? So if I do the same thing every single time, like eventually I'll learn like if I just spawn wherever every single time, like somebody could do like a weird peek that I haven't seen before and just like hold like, oh shoot, whatever, I'm not getting on, like hold the bar like super passive like coming out of spawn, so it's like super weird and it's like, oh, I didn't see that before. Or if I spawned, you know, white, sometimes coming out of spawn there's like a new peak where you basically like can see exactly when they come out or when they come out down here. So like basically like you learn after doing the same thing over and over, you learn the ways you can die, like usually like when you're safe, you know, and the more and more you do things, like the more and more you get comfortable with it, and the like more you can refine it basically and perfect it. And obviously like you don't, like ideally you want to have a couple different ways that you do things, but you don't want to just like do things all willy-nilly like every single time. So like, oh, sometimes I spawn front, and then sometimes I'll spawn out there, and then sometimes I'll spawn out there. Like, you know, you want to be consistent with the way you do things to perfect it. So that's kind of my tips basically for Siege. You know, come up with a couple ways that like, you know, you can do over and over and perfect, and whether you're solo queuing or not. And maybe like for like when I'm solo queuing, I won't pick thermite, because like if like I play thermite the first round and we lose, I'm like, I'm not playing thermite anymore because my team's bad, and like they're going kitchen next round, so like I pick a soft breach so I can open up above them, you know, in dining. And yeah, so that's basically it. So usually like you should have a couple different ways, 2 maybe 3 ways that you kind of do things for every bomb site. And you know, the more and more you practice it, the more and more you refine it, the more and more you do it, you know, you're able to perfect it basically. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on how to get better at Siege. Putting a drone bottom red.
Yeah.
Bottom road is good right now.
Drone up.
I'm droning you.
Alright,
I'm
I
gonna
see.
drone cigar. Cigar is okay. There's a shield in the doorway into sight. One's playing small bar. He's on ping. Got my drone. I'll get the wall right
Bottom
now.
white.
Oh no, I can't. Thatcher.
Thatcher, come on.
Phone activated.
Claymore deployed.
Thatcher.
Just
come-
EMP the roof.
come- Yeah, come on.
Disabling electronics. Drone ready.
Time to make it.
Bomb has been located.
Dude, I'm done.
I got flanked now.
I'm done with this game. I'm not even playing. I
It's
am.
just been one game, bud.
So.
Located bomb. Dropping EMP grenade.
Oh, they don't know what to.
15 seconds left. 4 remaining. One friendly operator remaining. 5 seconds left.
On the bar.
Oh my god.
Op
you
4 neutralized. Successful.
Like, how am I 3-4?
The guy was really gonna throw a C4.
Dude, I was just gonna bait. Like I was like, there's no way I plant.